Welcome to Bible Journeys with Jen and Jamie.
I'm Jen.
And I'm Jamie.
And we're so glad that you have decided to join us for the ultimate road trip this summer, where each week we'll travel to a new place in the Bible and check out what happened there. Ready? Let's jump in.
Whoa, look at that.
Oh, looks like we're about to go on a journey.
Yes, a very long one, in fact. Word is that Jesus has traveled this road many, many a times. We are on the road to Damascus. So this is the road that connects Jerusalem to Damascus. It's about 175 winding miles long. So not even just a straight shot to the next city. 175 miles.
Can you imagine if we averaged about 20 miles a day?
This
which is a long walk. I mean, that's like a 8.5 day walk to go from Jerusalem to Damascus. But this was a very highly traveled road that we would have used back in Jesus's time.
It's also been a little bit more slim because
walking for 8 days does that to you.
That's a long walk. So yeah. So there's two major roads that go from Jerusalem to Damascus. One is to the west, and that joins with the heavily traveled Way of the Sea because it's near the Sea of Galilee.
Clever naming.
Makes sense. But this goes through Samaria, Galilee, Nazareth. Can anything good come from Nazareth?
Nothing good comes from Nazareth.
Well, boy, were they wrong. Capernaum and Bethsaida. The other road takes you through unprotected desert where bandits and thieves are plentiful. So don't take that route.
No, it sounds like there's more safety in numbers if we take the western traveled route, which I think we'll stick to for this road. So Damascus itself was a major international trade and transportation center. It was key for the people that because of the connection to the ancient highways, they could transport goods and services easily enough from the sea into some more of the eastern towns.
So Damascus, very popular, obviously. So early followers of Jesus would have used this route as they fled Jerusalem because they were under severe persecution. So Damascus had lots of synagogues that had communities of believers, and this was a safe spot for them to practice their faith. So very, very safe. Even though one of the roads you had to take to it was covered with bandits and thieves.
But they could practice their faith and
they could openly and safe.
So it was here on this road that then Paul experienced his conversion to faith.
Saul.
Yeah, that's true. Saul
to Paul.
So Saul was a devout Jew and a Pharisee, and he would have used this route to go up to Damascus and round up the Christians. He had obtained official authorization and letters from the high priest in Jerusalem, which would have given him the authority to arrest any followers of Jesus that he found in Damascus and to bring them back to Jerusalem. And so he would have taken full advantage of that as a Pharisee, as one who wanted to follow the law to the T. Believers in Christ were just very threatening to him, and so he was going to be doing his best to round them up and bring them back.
He did not like anybody that followed Jesus. So one theory out there is that God used Saul's time on the journey, this road to Damascus, right, for him to think about things. So I guess we kind of just talk about it or assume that it's a short trip from here to there, but it wasn't. Remember, it's 175 winding miles long. Yeah. So Saul definitely had lots of time to think about the way that he was treating God's people. So yes, the theory is that God used Saul's time on this journey to teach him and soften his heart, because Saul would have passed through many towns and villages that Jesus would have spent time in and performed miracles, healed people, taught people. And so these people, having seen Jesus and heard him, were devout and open about the amazing things that Jesus had done. So he had lots of time to think, because God's not going to let his people. No, sir.
No. So prior to even the blinding light and the time that Saul spent that he was blind, and before he met Ananias, who was ready to care for him and watch over him until he regained his sight, God was already at work in Saul's heart, preparing him for this moment while on this long, winding road from Jerusalem to Damascus.
Yeah, on a road trip this long, you have lots of time to
Lots of
think,
time to
especially
think.
because you're walking. It's not like you were in a plane or a train or
Yeah,
an
no, this
automobile.
isn't going fast.
Nope, so. All right, well, now that we have seen what happened in the past, let's flash forward to see where we are today. Here we go.
Oh,
Look at that.
welcome to
We're still in Damascus.
Damascus.
Just a little bit more modern, aren't we? Yes, we are. So, yes, welcome to Damascus. It is the capital city of Syria, also the largest city in Syria. So
That makes sense.
clearly it's stayed intact and grown to be a very populous place.
Yeah, considered one of the oldest cities in the world because of its rich connection, obviously, going all the way back to Bible times, but even before that.
Yeah. I mean, as you'll hear us talk about, it's definitely not a place that you're going to want to visit or live, but that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about it.
All right, well, the road that we know from Bible times actually cannot be retraced at all today, largely because there's so many international borders. We talked about all the different towns that the one road went through, and so it still crosses many of those same cities today, but because of political conflict, because of military checkpoints, because of borders being closed, there is no true road to Damascus from Jerusalem to Damascus as we would have known it in the time of Paul/Saul, and in the time of Jesus.
Parts of the path, though, including Straight Street in the city of Damascus, are still accessible today. And they are a functioning route that is used by pedestrians, cars, local shops, and stores. So kind of like your big city, but also like modern or vintage, like downtown area.
Yeah, kind of like a lot of the cities that we've explored this summer. You have the connection to the ancient world, to the biblical world, but in today's modern times.
Where it would be and what it's used for.
Yeah. Sadly, Syria as a whole continues to suffer from a lot of political oppression, civil wars, threats of wars. Many of the areas of Syria are just left in complete ruins. There's a lack of electricity, so even cities like Damascus struggle to have electricity at night, which makes things like food preservation and a nightlife and economic boom type things hard to come by when everything goes dark at night.
So basically, we're just 2,000 years later, but still suffering the same problems.
Yeah, the oppression is no longer, the Jews versus the Christians, but instead the oppression comes from many different outside forces.
Yeah. So the oppression that Jamie is speaking about, though, that originally brought Saul on this road to Damascus, because remember, he wanted to gather up all of Jesus's followers and take them back and put them in chains. It still plagues the people today. I think that's just the area that's always going to be against all of those things in Christians, because that's not what they as a whole believe. So very sad.
It is.
Very sad. But we are thankful for Saul's conversion to Paul, because then Paul became a very important follower of Christ, showing lots of people Jesus and his love. So.
Yeah, and his letters to the different churches that he visited make up about half of our New Testament that we have today.
So we are thankful for the 175 miles of winding road that he would have had to travel from Jerusalem to Damascus. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Bible Journeys. We hope that you learned a little bit about the biblical past, but then also where we are today and what it looks like. We hope that you'll join us in 2 weeks. Yes, 2 weeks. Next week, there's nothing. Next week is going to be the
next week's a big announcement
as to what's coming. But then, starting after Labor Day, we will bring you a whole new series of Jen and Jamie. Can't wait to do it. It may or may not have something to do with Jacob. But until then, have a great week. Be safe, and we will see you next time on Jen and Jamie on a Thursday. See you later.